Do you enjoy playing games with friends? Yes? Good. Because otherwise, what the hell are you doing here? Now, a very important question. Are you, your friends, or both, broke as a joke right now? I know my friend group is, which is why we scour through the free games on Steam and look for the diamonds in the rough. Games so odd and yet amazingly fun that you can't help but enjoy the experience. So, without further ado, here are 5 free games for broke friend groups. If one genre of game has become incredibly popular, it's first-person shooters. This is seen a ton in the free game market as well. When you're looking for a diamond in the rough, however, one example is the greatest in my mind. A silly little robot game called Upgun. Upgun flips how you play FPS through a system that is simple to understand and slightly complex to master to your advantage. Essentially, there are a bunch of what I like to call cards that allow you to choose from more than 50 skills and upgrades to build how you want to play against your friends. These skills are pretty simple mechanics individually, say bigger magazine, decoys, or homing bullets, but together you can create some devastating builds that can do some massive damage. If you and your friends get fed up of one of you being a mastermind with a custom deck they created, which when we play, I am the card mastermind with my Omni gun, you can also turn off custom decks and force everyone to adapt on the fly with whatever is given to them to perform the best and take home the win. If your friend group has some revenue going on, I recommend purchasing the full game as well, which adds a few maps, some amazing and some meh. It also unlocks new cards to play with and modifiers that can change the game completely. Upgun isn't Mac compatible, but if the cards align, see what I did there? Then you should absolutely give it a shot. You can't regret it. Following Upgun is a game that's going to be odd to explain without getting some odd looks into your screen. Burg, in simple terms, is hide and seek tag with monkeys. And it works really well. The developers describe it as a first-person multiplayer hide and seek. Both teams are equipped with a set of abilities they can use to evade/capture the other. When a hider is caught, they join the seeker until only one player remains victorious. So, it's a bit more of an infection tag idea, but it means that later into the round, the more people are hunting you down and want you to lose. Despite looking like a project someone made in school for a game design class on Unity, it actually plays really well, and depending on how good you get at the movement, it can get really competitive and adrenaline racing. Usually, we save this for late at night when people are more willing to get into shenanigans, which is essentially how this game should be played. Want to hide behind a banana stand and watch the seeker walk right out the front door at the start of the match? Do it! Want to hide in a cave and jump over someone's head to escape what they thought was them cornering you? Do it! Want to hide above the seekers on a chandelier for no reason? I don't know why you would, but you can do it. Unfortunately, our Mac friends aren't able to play this one either, but it is a wildly fun time to have. Also, before we leave this section, they named the game after the middle castle area as Burg apparently means an ancient or medieval fortress or walled town. Do what you want with that information. I just learned it when I was researching. You may think that the idea of running a supermarket may sound like a weird, hey, let's hop on experience, but it truly is a great one. In Supermarket Together, you and up to 15 friends get to run a supermarket together, hence the name, and manage, or not, supplies and money to get the most profit. As you expect, you divide up the jobs among the people with cashiers, restockers, and product ordering. But fair warning, the more people that are invited to come and join the company, the more difficult the game's gonna get with things like shoplifters. Luckily, the game provides you with the perfect solution to dealing with this threat. A broom that acts as a weapon to utterly throttle any would-be robber or random person on the street who you happen to dislike. As the cashier, you need to be decently good at math too, due to the fact that you need to keep that line moving and not give the customer too much change, or everybody's going to start yelling at you. The best part of the game from my experience comes from harnessing your inner let's game it out and abusing the game's physics engine, which for whatever reason is local, to do things like standing on balanced brooms and nearly clipping out of the map with boxes of salt. The game also offers a $5 DLC where you can perform emotes and play any video you want from online, in-game on the TVs you buy and mount up around the store, which certainly is an enticing offer that I took them up on. Planet S is a real-time strategy game where your goal is to colonize multiple planets in the solar system to advance your civilization, build a city, and supply it to grow yourself. Imagine something like Civ 6, but super boiled down, in space and planet based instead. This is one of the games that you actually need to wake up for, as it takes a decent amount of strategy and skill to outplay everybody else playing with you. The map is made up of a maximum of 16 generated planets, which are random each time, which you can colonize. A planet's type affects the things you'll be able to do on it drastically due to the lack of resources it can have. Every player starts the game with a spaceship and enough materials to colonize their first planet, but it won't be able to supply you for long due to the fact that it will be missing some important resources, so you will need to expand to other planets. To advance yourself, you're going to need to work in the interests of a rising population across multiple of your planets, as you acquire things with higher housing and commodities like soda. When you start your population with workers, you need to make a decision when you advance to the second tier. You can either upgrade your resident civilization to be more science-based or military-based. Your decision's going to decide how you play for the rest of the game on the skill tree, instead of focus on either a more peaceful or violent way of winning the game. You can play alone or with up to 3 friends, and when doing this, you either can play decently peacefully and use diplomacy, or just act with blind, cruel force against each other and try to destroy the others. Just like the other ones, this is unfortunately not compatible with mech, which is starting to sound like a real issue at this point, now that I think about it. And finally, the piece de resistance, Just Act Natural. Just Act Natural is without a doubt a part of the party game genre, and it performs that role so incredibly well. Imagine the deception of Among Us in a silly clay world, which is the entire art style and was made out of clay and made with stop motion, where one of your friends is trying to snipe you. Essentially, the goal is to act like an NPC, as you do look like one and blend into the crowd while doing bonus things like collecting gems in order to gain more points and beat out your fellow hiders. But you have to be careful, as your greed could be your undoing. The game supports up to 8 players at once and is absolutely incredible. It also has a premium version that only the host needs to buy that unlocks new modes and maps for only $8, which, talking from other games like Upgun earlier in this list, is not common with these games. And yes, it is Mac compatible for once. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video, and remember, these are not recommendations, these are forced. So you are going to go and play these games with your friends, if you have friends. Otherwise, I don't know why you watched this video.